All right, guys, is it any understatement to say that I am incredibly excited for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning? I don't think so. For those of you who have stuck around on the channel for the past few months, who have been around, I did my most anticipated movies of 2025 video or segment on the Access Blockbusters Pod in December, and Mission Impossible, I think it was The Final Reckoning at that point. I could be wrong. Maybe it was still Dead Reckoning Part 2, but it was very, very high on the list because Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, which, yes, it's a mouthful of a title, but I don't care. But marketing purposes, sure. Take out the Part 1, shorten the title, do whatever. But Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning was one of my favorite theater experiences I've ever had. Ironically, and not coincidentally, very close to the other Tom Cruise movie that came out recently, Top Gun: Maverick, which is, I think, my favorite theater experience. Obviously, emotionally, you have movies like Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man No Way, whatever. But just in terms of watching a new movie in a theater, Top Gun: Maverick and Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, amazing. And so I was so looking forward to Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning just because of that, right? It doesn't take a whole lot. Well, I shouldn't say that. It takes a whole lot to make these movies because Tom Cruise literally risks his life doing these movies. But, in terms of actual movies, right? Other movies, you want the story, you want the plot, and you want all the characters, and that's all great, right? I really, I would much rather have a Mission Impossible movie have a great plot, riveting storylines, characters that are, great and developed and super interesting. But honestly, I mean, you go to these films and it's blockbuster action, right? And they deliver on that. Now, what made Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning so amazing to me was that it had all of it. I think that Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning's story was quite interesting with the advent of AI and this Dead Reckoning. Was it the algorithm and the Sebastopol they were trying to get after that submarine? So it was all super interesting to me. And I think that's one of the reasons that, on top of just the crazy action, I know they kept teasing that jump off the cliff with the motorcycle, did not disappoint, but also that ending train sequence, absolutely crazy what they did there. So yeah, I mean, I think that, the last film really demonstrated the potential that a film like, films like these can have, and the past few have as well. Rogue Nation, Ghost Protocol, Fallout, etc. So very much looking forward to this film, and we've gotten a couple trailers, and they've been, I mean, as intense as ever. But we just recently got in a new trailer, and I have to say, this latest trailer might have been the craziest, most insane trailer I've ever seen. First of all, just aside from the action, the cast. I didn't even realize half the people that were in this movie. I mean, we have returning players like, of course, Tom Cruise, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Haley Atwell, but then we have, and also Angela Bassett, but we have new players on the board too. I didn't even realize that Nick Offerman was in this movie. Mr. Milchick from Severance is in this movie. I had no idea he was in the movie. Hannah Waddington from Ted Lasso, she's in the movie. And I remember I might have talked about it on the channel, or at least I saw it when it came out, but she joined the cast as well. So it's a great cast. And on top of the fact that it looks like the action sequences in this movie, they just decided not just quality, because it looks like, I mean, the one shot of Tom Cruise jumping into the ocean from one of the planes, and obviously the ones where he's hanging off the side of those biplanes, and it looks crazy. Everything looks crazy, but not only quality, but quantity as well. I mean, just the sheer amount of, cutting to different action sequences that they do in this trailer is mind-boggling to me. Now, there's one thing in this trailer that had me a little bit concerned, and that is the part in the trailer, because usually second and third trailers, I think this is the third one, maybe not including the teaser trailer. And the one thing that had me a little bit concerned in terms of the story is there's a little sequence in the middle of it. I'm sure you guys caught it, where I think it was Tom Cruise. I could be wrong. It went by really fast, and I've only seen the trailer once. But in the middle of the trailer was character. And as we just talked about, right, the seventh film, I was trying to remember what number film it was. Seventh film, Dead Reckoning, was about AI, and it was about this algorithm, right? And there's this sequence where it looks like a character enters this capsule and is just downloading information via, I don't know, some kind of device. And look, Mission Impossible films have never pretended to be all that realistic, but they've been realistic enough, right? They've been spy films and action thrillers that have lived in the realm of possibility. I'm not gonna lie, it took me out of this a little bit, because I don't know why this was the straw that broke the camel's back for me to all of a sudden be like, wait a second, that doesn't feel right, because it's Mission Impossible. I mean, the guy's just dangling off of buildings, but maybe it is because Tom Cruise actually is dangling off of buildings that I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is totally realistic, which in reality it's not, right? It's crazy. So I don't know. But that's the one thing in the trailer that made me go, is this what the movie's going to be about, where we have a living, walking human computer? Because I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that. It's such a small detail, unless it becomes literally the whole film, in which case, I don't know. We'll have to see how they execute it. But I watched this trailer and I went, wow, that's one of the most insane trailers I've ever seen. So guys, what did you think of the latest trailer, and probably the last one, because Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning is coming out in just over a month. So what did you guys think of the final trailer, probably, for Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning? Let me know in the comments down below.